Hello everybody, welcome back. Today, gosh, I'm looking at the little flip-up screen. It looks way brighter on that on that screen than it is in real life. Coming up to my favorite hike. Just right now it is mid-January, and for the past 3 or 4 weeks Ireland has gone through some unusually cold weather, and that's been difficult for me to go camping in. I've been out in my car a few times, as you can see, before Christmas. Just not really, didn't really vlog them. I just wanted to get out and you know, enjoy a quiet camp out for myself sometimes. And to be honest, and I was like, I'm dying to do a camp. Like, when I say camp out, I was sleeping in my car during the very cold weather if I did go out. Sometimes it was down below like -5, -6, -7 snow. Like right where we are, we didn't get any sort of significant snowfall, which is fantastic because that can be a bit of a nuisance on the farm. But between the snow and the cold weather and with the workload I have on the farm, I didn't have time to do much. But also, like, I was just watching a video of someone in a hot tent, and I was like, well, that is feasible. You know, you could sleep in a hot tent in minus whatever, I think it goes all the way down to -20 in a hot tent, but I don't have one. And for the four days a year, every few, sorry, I thought there was someone behind me. I don't really have any use for a hot tent most of the time. Pretty much year on year, I'd be surprised if I did use it. But if I had one, I would have used it because I did have a little bit of time. But most of the reason I don't get my tent and go camping is because you need to be set up. So it's mid-January. You need to be set up in your tent by like 4 p.m, 4:30. And honestly, thoughts, I'd get up in the morning and I'd like, will I go camping this evening if the weather is playing ball, if it's not freezing cold, etc. I just have too much work to do to be able to justify it. I'm not able to justify getting into a tent at 4 p.m. and staying there for the night at the moment. But maybe as the evenings get longer, or I'll get some more time off and maybe do like a 3-day tent. When I say time off, like, I have 5 horses, so I can't just, you know, put them in a shed and close the door for 3 or 4 days. We'll see what happens as time goes on. See what's here, find somewhere I can sit down, and hope that I have brought everything I need for for a quick lunch, because I had to change it. I didn't bring anything I didn't need anyways, that's for sure. Well, hopefully. But anyway, that's the intro to today's video. I'm sure you found it very interesting to listen to. Let's head out. Say bye-bye to the car. We will see you in a little while. And this is where we're heading. Hopefully you can hear me. We're going to walk along this track, usually around about there. We head over behind those trees on a marked trail, but I want to head up along here and see where the track goes into the bog mountain. So let's head off. So there is the waymark, and normally that's the bog road. You head off up there, but I'm gonna go this way. today, following this track. There is tire tracks on it. It's a road you could drive a car on. So I'm not wandering into I'm wandering off the track by any means, but I've actually never gone up here before. So let's find out. It's wet, but not raining right now. But it's also like 13 degrees, so it's not cold, and that's nice too. But I will probably get too hot, as I usually do. It's hard to figure having waterproof clothing, but also not overheating. Yeah, I'm definitely not cold. I'm like almost too hot, but I want to keep the hat on because you have little kind of bands of mist that just kind of waved over you, and it will get my hair all wet, and that will make me cold. I guess maybe it won't, but anyway, I'm not terribly warm. I'm fine, not complaining. I have come up and over the side of the mountain, and I'm on the back. You probably can't see with the mist, but there's windmills behind me here, and then there's a valley down here, and I think I'm going to stop here because I've only been walking for about 40 minutes, but number one, I want to stop and eat food because that's what I came out for, lunch, and it's like nearly 3 p.m. so I'm hungry. I want to eat food in amongst the trees. I don't want to be sitting out here on the open bog, mostly because it's fairly windy and I have a gas stove and it'll take the flame because I'm on the top of a mountain in the wide open. And yeah, I just want to sit in under some trees and have a nice cozy lunch for myself. So I could head back down, I could head off, continue going down there and try and find somewhere, and I'm not familiar with them, or that I'm not familiar with, or head back to basically where I parked the car. That was the only place where I saw a nice wood that I can sit my butt down on a log and enjoy a quiet dinner, lunch, little sandwich for myself. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't bring Sushi, my dog. If you've seen her in other videos, for company. I don't know why I didn't bring her. She was sitting in the kitchen. She was quiet. Just kind of maybe didn't want to come because she's usually bring her with me because she always kind of wants to come with me. So that's cool too. But anyway, let me look at, you can't see the scenery, but all I'm going to say is if you have anywhere to get out and go for little hikes, do it. And if you can't, I hope that some of what I've shot today is something that you can appreciate. And yeah, okay. There's one other thing I'm looking at, which is here behind my head. Hang on, I'll just change the camera angle. You can't can't see it on this lens, probably not. There's a little spot sticking up right there. Yes. This, ooh, where's my finger? This, I think this is a trig point. Trig point, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Trig. They use them for maps, for location. They triangulate, that's the word. Triangulate for maps to make sure that their GPS coordinates are correct. I think that's a trig point, but it's on the middle of a bog. I can't, like, if I was to go, I'll zoom out again. So I'm standing here, stone, that's the road back where I came from, but to get to the trig point, which is just there, you'd have to walk across a bog. But that's going to be a little mission of mine. I know someone told me that's a little mission of mine now. Someone told me there was a little trig point. There was a regular sized trig point up here. I don't know if I found it or if I'm going to wander. I don't think I'll wander into the bog in the middle of January anyways. But it could be completely wrong. It could just be like a dustbin or something that someone else left. And then I've a weird, something I do is I make life hard for myself unnecessarily. So, like, if that's a trig point there's probably a pathway to it, because people would have to walk up to the trig point and use it for a marker. This is back in the days anyways, before there was satellites everywhere and ground penetrating radar, whatever it's called. So there must be a pathway to it, that's what I'm trying to say. And I've probably just not, I don't know where the path is, so I'll head off up there in the wrong direction and like just make it unnecessarily difficult for myself to get to the trig point. But it's here behind me. It goes over there, and there's a walk. Looks like there's a cut there through the bog back along. But again, as I said, I'm not doing this in the middle of January, because one thing is for sure, you're going to get soaked. But might be the trig point. We'll find out. Might be doing that during the summer. There is actually spots on this pathway that you might be able to park. Like, I could have driven. I know I've walked it. It was nice to be out and moving my legs, but I could have drove my car up here. If you had 4x4, even if you didn't, I'd say you'd be fine. Not too low of a car. What I'm saying is back that way a little bit. There was like a couple, and even here, like, you could park your car and camp for the night, and it might be fun. Although I don't fancy camping near the windmills, because sometimes they can be quite noisy. And then I also don't like camping. There's these towers. One of them I think is a 5G tower. The other two are radio towers. I don't know if that means anything. I don't. But anyway, I don't want to camp too close to them either, because they do tend to erect these towers away from people for a good reason. I know when I'm up beside it, it makes so much noise, like when I walk past them, because I do walk around them from time to time. I'm trying to walk here. This is muck, but I think, did I come in along the, yeah, I went that way. Anyway, I'm gonna walk this way. Boom. Nice. Yeah, that's another like place that you could park. Like, I could park the 4x4 anyways. And like, I wouldn't give a crap if I drove my car up here. I'm like gawking at that trig point. Well, I wonder if that's probably the freaking trig point. Thought it would be harder to find than that, but it's not. Anyway. So, let's head back down, find a nice little cozy spot in the woods to eat something, put on a fire, get my little lunch set up, eat, and hopefully be home before dark. Yeah, I do miss my doggies, even though she's like, I've seen her, she was like an hour ago. But on these little adventures, it's nice to have a friend. And this is something else I'm going to talk about while we're walking, because when I sit down to eat, I'll just be chewing on the food. Nom nom nom. I'm laughing at myself for calling this channel Adventure with Eileen. It doesn't feel like I've been doing much adventures like over the past, probably the past year. Like I have big, oh, hang on, to figure out where I'm stepping that I don't get stuck in the mud. I do some Adventure with Eileen has not been a very adventurous channel. That's the way I'm going to put it. It's like I do stuff, but I don't video record it. But also I want to do stuff on this channel like camping, hiking, road trips, long distance stuff, to Scotland, but stuff like this as well. And to go up here with the tent and camp for the night and just have some fun. But I feel like this isn't the level of adventure I had imagined, you know, so far. But we're 2 weeks into January of 2025, and I'm starting to get the feeling that there will be, I'm afraid to say it in case I jinx it, but that there will be a lot more adventure this month, this year. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to put the camera down and enjoy my hike back down the hill. And hopefully the next thing you see will be me making lunch. I'm back in the woods. I think I found the place. Oh, can you hear the quiet? I think I found the place to have lunch. There's nice little cut tree stumps all around me. There's even a tree just fell over here. Might have a look at that in a minute, but just find some nice tree stump and put my camping stove up. I'm going to have myself a little, this is a double chocolate mocha, just to spoil myself. and I like to put a little bit of cream in my cups, coffee. So I've put it in the cup already. It just felt like doing that when I left the house. So yeah, I have the water boiling. It's a little bit, there seems to be a little bit of a direct breeze coming in through the trees, even though I'm not that cold. But the wind is a bit strong, so I've moved it down here, so hopefully it's sheltered and it cooks quicker. And the next thing that I'm planning to have is a bagel. It is a bagel with rashers. So I'm going to cook the rashers, and I have the bagel in a bag. I'm not going to make it from scratch. Just felt like having something warm. But yeah, this is nice in the woods. This is a nice little camping setup. I have a little kind of nook here where I'm going to sit. A bag, and it's just kind of, you can see there. So my back will be to the wind, and the water is almost boiling. So make myself a hot chocolate or a coffee mocha, and then I'm going to put on my bacon, and there's the bagel, and this is a little treat for after. I went and bought it in the shop on my way here because I felt like having a snack. It's actually the reason kind of why I decided to do this, because I decided to go out for lunch, and I said I'll get myself a nice pastry, and changed my mind midway through that and decided I would take my camping gear out and eat some lunch out, but I still got myself a pastry. Anyway, yeah. Ugh. I can hear the birds.